Welcome, self-defense students. Chris Hirschler here. I'm going to walk you through some of the things we would normally be doing in class. In the event that we don't have classes in person, you'll be doing a video online for the performance assessment. I'll walk you through that. You won't have this equipment, but I want you to be able to imagine what you'll be doing. So we're going to be doing some strikes and blocks. You always want to have a good base. You always want your hands up. Realize that your opponent could strike you, and so your hands up. It's a defensive posture. You're also getting closer to being able to strike, but if a punch is thrown, a strike is thrown, you can block it, absorb it. I use the analogy of if you've grabbed a rebound, right? You've got the basketball here. If you're trying to clear out a little bit, you can block while also throwing a strike. You're blocking the punch and you're striking. We're going to throw strikes in the solar plexus, right here, throat, chin, eyes are targets, so are the ears. So it could even be just a slap to potentially injure the eardrum, right? That can be effective. Eye strike. Again, this is if your safety is in jeopardy, you fear for your life. Eye strike is legitimate. The throat, right here. If you tap on this, it's very uncomfortable. Just getting in a strike to the throat, right in the midsection there, will be effective. Find your solar plexus right here, and a palm strike to the solar plexus is very effective. Again, always having your hands up, so you're not going to be approaching this with your hands down. You can get hit. Hands up, and it's just the force is coming from the ground up, and it's a little bit of a snap. You're twisting, and it's a slight turn away to come in. So I'm turning away to come in, and again, so that's the upper body. In terms of kicks, you can also keep your opponent away. Again, hands would be up. It could just be a kick just to get them away. Ideally, you want to keep eye contact. So I don't want a problem, right? And so you're not telegraphing the kick that's coming. You can also get more of a hip into it, and in this case, I would be extending my hip. I'm hitting with the heel, right? It's a more powerful strike versus the ball of your foot. So make sure you're not injuring your toes. Your toes are always curled back. Ball of your foot, or the heel if you're going to give it the hip, right? And again, coming back to a position of balance where someone could push you and you could absorb that. Cut. All right, I'll discuss the rear chokehold and how to get out of that. So if someone comes behind you, goes like this, puts you in a rear chokehold, it's impossible to get out of that. You have very few seconds to react, to loosen the grip and get out of there. So one way to do that, I'm imagining now I've just been choked. I'm going to find the head. I'm putting my thumbs, you can see this, right into the person's eyes. It's an eye gouge. You can also, let's say I were shorter, you can run your fingers down the eyes. That will loosen the grip. You can also throw an elbow strike. So the person's choking you, I would look for an eye gouge right away. Again, it could be dragging the fingers, especially if you have longer fingernails. Throwing a strike to the groin or the solar plexus with an elbow. But the first thing I would do would be to look for the eyes. That's going to be most effective at, again, causing the person to loosen the grip and allow you to get out of there. Now we'll demonstrate a release. So someone has grabbed your arm and you want to get out of it. So go, right? You're just going to pull up. It's like you're throwing a drink over your shoulder and throwing an elbow at the same time. It's just this movement. So someone's grabbed me, right? You can also grab again. You can also drop down a little bit. But it's this, grab. I'm not trying to yank away. That's not going to be effective. I'm going at his weak point, the thumbs, and going up. Right? Again, I've been grabbed, and let's say this person is twice, 3 times my strength. I can also grab in between. I'm grabbing my hand, And now I've got both arms working for me, again, at his weak points. And again, I'm throwing the elbow, throwing the drink over my shoulder, if you will. And having this hand to pull up also is very effective. Okay, so in this case, you're being confronted by someone who's an aggressor. They're looking to harm you. Again, hands up, defensive posture. I've got a little bit of bend in my knees. I've got an athletic position, a balanced position, and this is going to be a front kick. And again, this would be with the ball of your foot. You could also do the heel of your foot. Either way, first will be the ball of my foot, and I'm going to be, again, you can practice this looking at your target, but eventually I'm going to try to do this kick just by making eye contact. I don't want to telegraph the kick and where I'm going to kick. So I'm going to be looking, hey, I don't want a problem, right? And you're delivering that kick. Again, this is just if your life is in danger, you don't want to blow out someone's knee just because they've insulted you. So this is, you're concerned about your safety, the person has threatened you and appears to be ready to harm you. You're using that kick. Again, with the heel, it would look a little different. You're going to get more hip into it, right? Both of those are effective kicks. The other kick I'm going to show you is if, again, you've been grabbed from behind, maybe you go for the eyes right away, but you lift up your knee and you're going to deliver a kick with the heel of your foot, right? It can be a very powerful kick that can break a bone or, again, really harm the person's knee, including ligament damage. So again, maybe you've been choked, eye gouged, get a kick in, right? Okay. So if we're completely online and we need to do a performance assessment, you won't have this equipment. This is how it will look. So it's again, defensive posture. You've got some, spring in your knees. You've got a balanced position, and you're delivering a front kick and coming back. You can do a back kick. Again, you can grab, right? And so those are just two different kicks that you can use. Again, one if you've been grabbed from behind, two if the attacker is coming from the front and you're just returning. Next, I'll just talk about some of the strikes. Again, we don't have the benefit of Bob for those strikes, but you want to imagine where you're striking. So if it's the solar plexus right here, again, hands are going to be up. You're not just doing this, hands at your side, don't hurt me, and you're doing a strike. You might say in the video, I would strike the chin. So it's going to be up. Notice that I'm not throwing my arm fully. I also don't want my arm grabbed. So I'm doing a strike and I'm retracting it pretty quickly, right? This way they can't grab my arm and hurt my elbow. The video would also look like this if you're doing a karate chop. Again, keep in mind you want a little bit of a flinch, a little bit of a snap, like you're throwing a baseball or a softball. Boom. Could be the slap to the eardrum, right? Eye gouge. One hand or two, either way. So go through those things. Again, you'll be looking to show two strikes. Could be an eye gouge, fingers. Could be the slap. Could be a palm strike, which is really effective. Two kicks, show the motion of a release. And also, you want to show two blocks. And so again, I showed over at Bob this. So this hand, I'm blocking a punch coming in, but I'm also striking. So, and if it were reversed, if the punch is coming this way, boom, right? So again, you can also strike while you're blocking. If someone were to throw a kick at me, again, let's say the kick is coming to this side, I could just block it like that. If you've seen the movie Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. So punch comes in, could be a block, kick comes in, you're blocking, right? So you'll just demonstrate that in the video. That's all, folks.